G'day folks, welcome to this live playthrough of for Blau. I did a recording of the opening moves earlier, and yeah, I'm up to the first German combat phase. You can see the situation up in the north here, where the 4th Panzer Group is trying to kind of punch a hole through here and get around through to Voronezh. So I'll get straight into it. Up to combat resolution, and we're using this prepared assault table. So pretty basic CRTs, attacker result, defender result. There are various shifts for various effects. Let's look at how this works in practice. Now, I need to think about the order of these things, because what I'd like to do is leave this for later, because I don't want them to retreat into the path. You can retreat through enemy zones of control. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll do these rightmost combats first. This should be pretty easy to win. That's just a HQ and a silhouetted unit. It's a B-rated attack, B-rated formation. I just don't want these guys to retreat into my advance path. Just going to check something, one moment. Oh, good. Okay. Hey, Paul. Welcome. Okay, so the order we do things, I think this could be the best combat, all things going well. So I'm going to resolve this one first. And I need to draw combat strength chit for the attackers. This is the one where we've got that air unit. We draw... Oh, God, that's a terrible, terrible chit. That's only a B rated. Sorry, a 5 strength combat unit. That's terrible. That's for the combat that I really needed to work well. So we've got 5 on 2 in the clear. With that air unit, it helps a little bit, but not a lot. In the clear, 2 to 1, got a 50-50 chance of winning this combat. Shifts. Okay, so there's ground support, so that shifts up to 3 to 1. No river, no town, no fortified zone, no rubble. No, we don't have combined arms in this combat. That's frustrating. No encirclement bonus, so it's just a 3 to 1. A roll of 1 is an A1 R1 result. That's the one combat that I wanted to go well. Alright, so we flip that strength chit over. They're now down to 3, and they retreat. What is it? A1 R1, so they have to retreat back to there. That's terrible. That was my attack on that Russian HQ. You notice the CRT says prepared combat. Is there a C? Yeah, so let me show you the other side of the CRT. So that's they're prepared assaults during the combat phase. And during the move phase, you can conduct these mobile assaults as well. These are mainly aimed at pushing the defender aside. So it's hard to get a step loss. Mostly what you do is you're aiming for a DR result. And it kind of pushes the defender out of the way. At least that's what I saw. A lot of DR3 results. So it does push them a fair way back. 3 retreat. But yeah. Conversely, these prepared assaults should be inflicting step losses. So let's try the next one. Straight through the middle here. We've got combine arms here. Need to draw another combat chit, strength chit for that unit. Oh god, it's another 5. Okay. So we've got a strength of 5 plus 1 is 6 to 3, and they're actually in the hills. So I've got 2 to 1. I do have combined arms here. So no ground support. I don't think the hills actually add anything to combat. One thing that I don't particularly, or that is a little bit annoying, is that the CRT doesn't summarise, the terrain effects chart doesn't summarise combat terrain effects. So I've made notes, and yeah, there's no modifier, no column shift for that hill terrain. So we're looking at, though in effect there is a column shift because you're looking at a different row of the CRT. So you're looking at here, what did I say, 2 to 1, so looking at 2 to 1 here, column shift for combined arms, looking at 3 to 1, another not great column. A roll of 3 is an A1 D1 result. Well, okay, that eliminates the Russian unit, but we lose a step loss. And I think it has to be from a mechanised, well, they're both, that's a motorised division, isn't it? Can probably come from those guys. Not a great German start, although they have opened the gap. They just can't advance into it now. Last important combat out here. 2 A strength units, and they have a little white band there, which means that they can count as half a unit for combat, which means that they can both participate. So I need to draw 2, I don't know how I ended up with 2 A ranked units together, but there we go. Oh, there we go. There's our good strength chits. Strength is 27 against 3. Across a river, combined arms. So what terrain are they in? They're in clear. So we get a 9 to 1 in the clear. Attacking across the river brings it into 8 to 1. Combined arms 9 to 1. This should go well. Roll of 3 is a D2R2. So there's 1. And we have 3 advance. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Push out there. So basically you advance to satisfy remaining hits or retreat results. Hey Joffrey, welcome everyone. Hey Muzzlepaint. Okay, so we've got one more combat down here. Oh, 2 more combats, sorry. Let's try this one down here. And we've got we've already got a chit here. This is strength 11. 2 more to draw. And we have a strength 11, which is okay. It's 22 and a 10, which is 32. 32 on 3 is 10 to 1. Encirclement bonus, 11 to 1. They're in a fortified zone. Push back to 9 to 1. A roll of 5 is going to wipe them out. That's going to be D2R2. So 1, step loss, and 3 to satisfy. So I think I have to advance into the hex, and 1, 2, 3 to try and just slow down those Russians. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I am allowed to stack them together. Alright, so you can stack several multi-step units together. They just can't necessarily attack together out of the hex. Alright, last combat up in this area. Let's hope this one goes well. We have got 10, 24, and an 8. So 32 on, I think that was 4, right? 32 on 4, which is 8 to 1 in the clear. I have combined arms and encirclement bonus, brings up to 9 to 1. A roll of 5 is going to be a D2 R2 result, and encirclement doubles that to D4 R2. So 2 step losses there, and they're eliminated. The infantry have to advance and hold, because with encirclement bonuses, infantry must stop. Does that extend to mechanized infantry? I know it doesn't extend to armor, so let's get these guys and go 1. And they have, what, 4 advance. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll check whether that encirclement bonuses limits the advance of that mechanized infantry as well. So it's called an encirclement bonus, and you basically have to encircle non-mechanized units. Yeah, sorry. Excuse me. Which means these guys can go 1, and where do they want to go? 1, 2, maybe they want to pin down. 1, 2, they'll jump right in there. So this has not been a great German opening. It doesn't feel great. I don't know. I feel like if that combat would have went better, I could have been advancing up through this gap here, which is kind of what I wanted. Anyway, that's them done anyway. I'm just going to shift to the right a bit, where we have the 6th Army trying to get things done out here. And again, the order of things is going to be important. I think I need to try to get that unit out of the way first. So we've got a C-rated Russian unit, and they're going to be weak with a strength of 4. That's good news. And I'm going to bring a lot. You can see all my rated units. So I need 3 strength ratings. That's a good one for me. The Germans 8. An A9 is bad. Oh, sorry, that one's already got a counter. And a B. So it's B rated, you can see, and the B here is 8. So we've got 8, 16, 25 on C4. So 25 on 4, which is 7 to 1 in the clear. No, it's not in the clear. It's in the hills with an encirclement bonus. So what did I say? 6 to 1 in the hills. Encirclement pushes up to 7 to 1. It's a good column on the CRT. So I'm looking here at hills, 7 to 1. Encirclement 8 to 1. I don't have combined arms here. So just looking at that 8 to 1 column here, and a die roll of 9. This can be a D3R2. Now we double that parenthesized value, so it's a D6R2. That'll wipe out those guys. That's 1, 2, 3 step losses. So that leaves 3 more step losses and 2 retreats to satisfy. So I could kind of expand here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we have to advance in the hex first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're almost linked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get across the river there. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you do have to stop your advance when you enter an enemy zone of control. Okay, so that's why they stopped there. They did have a 5 hex advance, but they've stopped upon entering that zone of control. You do have to advance into the hex first. Yeah, no, that's all right. Put my hand in front of the CRT. Yeah, sure thing. I'll try to focus a bit better. Sorry. I'll be mindful of that. All right, so we've got this combat here, an A ranked unit with combined arms, with a rating of 10. So I've got 5 to 1 in the wooded area. 5 to 1, wooded area, combined arms, pushes it up to 6 to 1. So we're looking at woods, sorry for the glare, woods, 6 to 1, a die roll of 4 is a, sorry for the glare, D1, R1 result. So D1 removes them. And now I believe with the, double check this. I think with the, because this is a mechanized division, or regiment rather, that yeah, it must be that. It must always be that unit. So only 1 step of advance here, which is okay. All right, now I want to clean up around to the back here first. So we'll do this one, and again we've got 3 combat strengths to draw for the Germans. 1, good. It's a 12. 2, that's an 8. Nice. 12, 14. When I say nice, that's not nice. 8, that's 20, 34 on 3. Oh no, that's more than that. That's 44 on 3, which is 12 to 1 odds. Okay, so this is the first time this has happened. Whenever you can generate 12 to 1 odds, the result is automatically D3R4. And because I encircle this unit, it's D6R4. Automatic, you don't have to roll. So they're eliminated. And I have D5R4 to resolve. Now, is there a maximum to the advance? Because that's D5R4, that's 9 hex advance. It seems really, really strong. Advance after combat. The victorious units may freely advance number of hexes remaining in the retreat obligation. Okay, so I think it's only, maybe I've been playing this a bit wrong. Maybe it's not 5 hexes. Maybe it's just their retreat path. Yeah, okay, up to that retreat. So I think that they probably went a bit too far. 1, 2, what was it? 3, I think. So maybe they went a bit too far. So these guys will get a 4 hex retreat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where was it? Sorry, was it not them? It was this hex here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just around that unit. So I think I misunderstood that. It's not the complete loss / retreat. It's just the remaining retreat. Otherwise, yeah, that would be a huge, 7 hex advance, which seems a bit absurd. All right, we have a prepared assault here. We need to draw a chit for that regiment. Strength of 12 gives them 6 to 1 in the clear with combined arms. Just a reminder, the yellow band means that unit automatically gets combined arms, so it pushes them up to 7 to 1. A roll of 3. So 7 to 1. Oh, sorry, wrong total. 7 to 1. Combine arms. Oh, what is it? Yeah, 7 to 1. 3 is a D2 R1 result. D2 R1 kills them off. And just the 1 hex for advance. Last attack. So I have a blue banded unit here. So they're possibly eligible for combined bonus with an infantry division, which gives them that combined arms bonus. And I draw a strength of 10, give me a total strength of 11. So 5 to 1, combined arms makes it 6 to 1. A roll of 5, 6 to 1. 5 is D1 R2. So they're dead. And we advance. And okay, so the first hex can be in an enemy zone of control. I can then advance from there. You ignore the zone of control in the first hex of advance, and I can cross that river to there. And I must stop there on entering the second, I believe. I'm going to double check that. Okay, ignoring EZOCs in the current hex advance. Yeah, so they can advance EZOCs and advance a second hex. Okay, so this is the one circumstance where you can go from ZOC to ZOC. Right, so this unit projects a zone of control into here. You ignore it in that first hex of the advance. And that's it for German combat. Turn 1. Now you may have noticed this commit roll marker here. What does that mean? Okay, so the Germans have attacked into, you may notice, this red 13th Army area. They've moved and attacked into this army area, which activates the headquarters, commits the headquarters, and all their units. So they've been unlocked or woken up, I keep saying. They've also attacked in the 40th Army area, which commits and wakes up the 40th Army headquarters there. All these units are available. They have also attacked into this 21st Army area, which commits and wakes up the 21st Army headquarters, which I attacked and destroyed. But that still wakes up all their units. What that means is, this one in particular is important. Any headquarters area adjacent to that area that has become committed, such as the 28th, potentially becomes committed. And I put this commitment roll marker on their HQ. At the start of the next turn, they'll make a roll to check if they become committed. If they roll, I think it's 4 or less, maybe? Maybe 2 or less. They may also wake up, become committed, and have the opportunity to get the heck out of that frontline area. Okay. Now, once they become active, it has this sort of domino effect. They get a commitment roll. And once they become active, they get a commitment roll. So the Germans want these rolls to go badly, because if these guys fail their roll, they have to wait till the next turn, which means that these guys won't get their roll until the next turn, which means that there's a sort of follow-on delay. This is why I've tried to focus. So there's a broad front. You can see it stretches way down to the south there. I don't want to wake up these units down here yet. I want to keep them uncommitted for as long as possible. And I want, my plan, you can see the arrows, my plan is to do as much as possible in the north, send this 4th Panzer Group driving south and trying to surround all these Russian units before any of them can kind of wake up, or before many of them can wake up, in the very least before they can do much after they've woken up. So Lawrence is saying it looks a pretty good first turn. It's good to hear. I'm not sure. So the thing I've been doing, so there's you've got some choices here. You can do these prepared assaults, which I've just been demonstrating, or you can do mobile assaults. So mobile assaults push the defenders aside, but they don't really cause step losses. So it's kind of I was tossing up which one's better to start with. Do I want to cause step losses along the front, or do I want to drive? And I've focused more on driving and pushing the Russians aside. Having said that, the first combat we've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 14 losses among the Russians. That's pretty good. These are a lot of weak one-step Russian defenders. At the end of the German combat phase, we remove those disorganized markers, and we advance to the Soviet player turn. So the first thing we do here is that Soviet command phase, and they roll for those uncommitted headquarters. So it's basically this, you see that commitment roll there? This is what I'm rolling for now. And they need to get less than or equal to the commitment number. So it's hard for me to show you this commitment number. It's way down. If I'm going to move the camera, sorry. It's way down. And it's out of focus. This commitment number here, that's what I'm looking at. It's a 2. Okay, so I'm going to double check focus because I've moved things around a bit. Okay, so the Russians need to roll a 2 or less to wake up this 28. You see this black line here? It's actually right on the red line. So the Germans haven't moved through this area. So they're not automatically awake, or committed, I should say, technically the word. They need a 2 or less to wake them up. And the Germans really don't want this to work. Excellent. Okay, 3. Okay, so what that means is we flip this over to its automatic side. So next turn they will automatically wake up, they will automatically commit, and will then place a commitment roll on the next area, which is over here. But that's great news for the Germans because it slows down. It's basically a 1-turn delay for the commitment of all those Russian units, and that has a follow-on effect all down the line. Okay, so if the Russians roll well there, they can get an early jump, an early retreat. What that means is these guys now can't retreat. They can't move. They're inactive, non-committed. It's great news for the Germans on turn 1. And because I focus my attack in the north, there are no other commitment rolls for the Russians to make. So my original strategy, sorry, I keep moving back and forth. My original strategy was to activate the 1st Panzer Group here. That would have woken up maybe the 9th and the 37th, and there'd be commitment rolls here, and there'd be this kind of wake up domino effect. We have sort of 2 dominoes going north and south. So I've shifted that strategy to only commit the Russians up here in the north. I think it's a good idea. I think. Okay. We now do Soviet construction phase. This is where over in Stalingrad, I pointed this out in an earlier video, but I'll just highlight again. Those white markers way off in the distance, if it's turned 20 or greater, the Russians can begin to construct the Stalingrad defences. That's not happening. And now we get the Soviet movement phase. And I need to kind of double check the there are a lot of restrictions on the Soviets. There's no strategic movement during turn 1. I don't think there are any other movement restrictions on the Russians. That's okay. So they've got a lot of units that can't move. A lot of units that can move. So how are they going to want to deal with this threat? These guys want to try to weave their way out of this pocket, and there is a bit of a gap here. So let's start off in here and cost them an additional 2 movement points to leave an enemy zone of control, I think. Yep, 2 bonus movement points. So it's going to cost them basically 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all they can do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're going to try to keep this gap open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stop there, I guess. They're locked in zones of control and they can't move. Alright, so we're trying to now we've got trouble here. Do we try to keep this gap open and allow these frontline units to retreat, or do we try to reform the line? We can't do everything, can we? Basically two corps here, 2 Russian tank corps. Let's see what we can do up here on the left first. So they've got these 2 guys left to move as well. And the headquarters, which is in trouble, which I want to keep alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9. That's good. 2 to move into the wooded hex there. Got a strong defense up here, I think. 1, 2, 3. Defense of 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so we've got some solid defensive positions here. 4, 5, 8. That's pretty good. This is a deterrent to German mobile assaults. So basically with mobile assaults, I spoke about this in an earlier video, but I'll talk about it again. It's not a CRT based table, it's just a defender strength based table. So you only look at the defense strength of the defenders. If they've got a defense of 4, which I do up here, I think it was, you use this row. And the various modifiers that may apply. Basically the Russians just need to ensure they've got solid defensive positions, which they kind of now do. So the Germans will be more hesitant. It'll slow down basically their roll. Okay, let's get some defences. We'll pull away from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll push into there. Get this headquarters out of the way. 1, 2, 3. Pull these guys back behind the river. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is as far as they can go. I'd like to pull them back further, but anyway. 1, 2. We can't leave this gap too wide open. I think we'll hold around there. That's a semblance of a front line. It will at least force, again, defensive 4, probably a defensive of at least 5, I think. I haven't seen anything lower than a B5. It stops these mobile assaults and will buy the Russians some time. Alright, so this initial, it's not going to be good for the Russians in the first 10 turns, but they're trying to slow down the Germans. What that now means is these guys are in a pretty good position. We can just pull back a little bit. What are we in there? We're in a little village which doesn't do anything. I'm thinking I could pull back to this rough terrain. So the choices is try to leave this gap open. Oh, this is really tough. So I could bring this unit here and they could try a mobile assault, but I guarantee they don't want to try a mobile assault because C-rated units are at least sort of a 4 or 5. So they'd have to, if I bring this unit in here, it'd force a prepared assault. Problem is, strong German force out here. So if I just push in there, they can push, well, see, yeah. It's this is probably the biggest concern. So I've been able to contain, for now, this area of the Russian drive. I don't think I can contain this. I've got one unit here, and these two. And if I shift these core out to the right, it leaves this gap here on the left. So maybe I'm going to pull this headquarters out of the way before I forget. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get them way out of the way. Yeah. Oh, the Russians have to make counterattacks. They have to make 2 counterattacks on this first turn. I'll do one out here, and I'll do one here. In fact, oh jeez, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so what do I do with these guys? Maybe pull back, keep them alive. I think, this is a really difficult decision. Try to stop the encirclement. So I could defend, I've got 2 choices here. Or 3 really. I can defend kind of, I can't defend anywhere, there's a massive gap here. So maybe I need to focus on trying to prevent that encirclement as much as possible. Let the Germans drive. You can see this big group of Germans here. I could try and defend along here to try to prevent that encirclement. The Germans will drive through here, but it'll give all these units time to wake up and then withdraw. That may be the best approach. I don't think with 2 units available in this area, I can't something. Lawrence is saying run away. How far do I run away though? So the other option is I can pull back to a line, say here, and that would let the Germans drive through here, which would really accelerate the surrender of all those units. So am I trying to save units here, or am I trying to stop their drive? Or maybe I try to do a bit of both and form a line sort of along here. That may be the best way to go about it. So, something in the middle. A compromise between all those plans. Alright, let's try and do that. So if the Germans want to push through here into this difficult terrain, they can do so. I'm going to hold my line around Valuki, right in that HQ. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's a gap through here. The Germans can push through. That's fine. There's a bit of rough terrain there, which will slow them down. Maybe. If they want to push through here, there's rough terrain and rivers. I'm forcing the Germans to make a difficult choice, whilst hopefully keeping those tank corps alive. Yeah, so Lawrence is pointing out you can sacrifice infantry, but multi-step units can't be brought back from the dead pile. So these are important. I'll move them back 2 more spaces. Where were these guys? They were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Might even go further back. Open a bigger gap for the Germans. Yeah, I think these guys are in trouble. Probably shouldn't have defended so close. Should have pulled them back to here. Anyway, it's done. And that's pretty much it for the Russian movement. There's not a lot they can do on that first turn, because the Germans haven't woken up, haven't committed a lot of their headquarters. So they're very limited. So now we get to the Soviet combat phase, and as I said, the optional rule I'm using, they have to make 2 prepared assaults on this first turn, so they do 1 sacrificial assault out here. Oh no, actually, because they can't draw combat supplies, so they can't attack. So I would have to leave 1 there to attack. So this is going to be futile attacks to try to defend their front in line with doctrine. Alright, so we've got 1 to 3 here. Odds of 1 to 3. And I think they're attacking across a river into the clear. So 1 to 3, clear. It's not going to go well. Oh, a roll of 9. 1 to 3, 9 is an actual TR1 result. Okay. And the Russians can advance. They don't want to, but did not expect that. Alright, next combat. We've got, I think this is an A-ranked unit. Oh, they've already got a counter, sorry. A strength of 8. So we've got 1 to 9, which is 1 to 3 again. No river, in the clear. So 1 to 3, a roll of 6. Use an attacker 1 result. That's a 1-step unit. Okay, and that's it for Soviet combat. We End turn phase. Remove rallied out of command, airpoint markers. Return all Axis headquarters to their unsupported side. Do that all along the line. Hungarians are unsupported, yep. I'll continue doing that down the line in a moment. And advance a game turn marker. Okay, so that's, folks, the end of game turn 1. I'll begin to wrap up here, but let's have a look. So the Germans have driven through here. Have a front line along there. That's where they're driving. And they might consider a mobile assault there. And this is where they've got the big opening. So they'll be able to push straight through there. Quite rapidly, in fact. Oh, geez. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. They could even use strategic movement. I think they can use strategic movement. Oh, no, they won't, because they're within 3. We'll see. Look, folks, I'll wrap it up here. It's the end of turn 1. Lawrence is saying, don't I have some committed reserve units? Yes. Yes, there are some Russian committed reserves way off in the background. I was uncertain about those, so I need to move those as well. You can see them up at the top of the camera there. They occupy a weird... Thanks for pointing it out. So I was a bit unsure about these guys. Soviet reserves units they can't use strategic movement. I'm very uncertain about what the commitment level of their armies, because their armies units that begin in reserve status are always committed, but the headquarters aren't. What am I talking about here? I'm talking about these units way off in the distance. So they start off way up the back there, and you'll notice the actual units have the white boxes. Oh, actually the headquarters have white boxes as well. But the headquarters aren't committed yet, or are they? So it's the 6th Army, and they've got commitment rolls. Turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. So I'm not sure, I need to check the rules on that. So I'm not going to move them yet. I'll figure out the rules, and then I'll come back and figure out what to do with those reserve units. For now, I'll wrap this up and read up on what happens with those units, but it may be some Russian units begin to move out to the west. But I'll follow that up off camera. Alright, thanks folks. Not the reserve armies, but individual units with the white R. Yeah, I think those actual little units can move. I'll check up that. Thanks everyone, and take care.